Welcome back to another delicious episode, and today we're looking at 5 things that you should be doing on your bike by yourself and 5 things that you should definitely get someone to help you with, like your bike mechanic. So let's rip in. Okay, so number one thing to do at home is tuning gears. Tuning gears is super easy. Basically, bikes work around tension. So pull the gear cable, gears go up, loosen the gear cable, gears go down. Once you work this out, tuning gears, super easy, something you should be doing at home. Number 2 is replacing bar tape. Now, replacing bar tape is a bit of an art form, but it's not exactly the hardest art form to learn. You're not learning to paint Picasso. So have a look at a couple of YouTube videos, maybe practice with the cardboard paper tape on so that you don't stick it to the bars. Once you're confident, slap that bar tape on yourself, save a bit of cash. Number 3 is washing your bike. You should be washing your bike on the regular, and if you're paying someone to wash your bike for you, mate, you're just pissing money down the drain. This isn't complex, it's not quadratic equations or anything like that. You should be able to wash your own bike, do it at home, take the pleasure in it, save yourself some dollary doos. Number 4 is changing gear cables. Now, this is only if you're running mechanical or you have caliper brakes, but changing gear cables, super easy. You just have to put a dab of oil between your forefinger and your thumb, run your cable through, and then slide it through those cable housings, and you will have your gear cables on your bike in no time, and you've not paid a cent, except for the cables, which is like, what, $2? So, super cheap. Number 5 is chain replacement. Now, I was going to chuck this in the other one, to be honest, because it could go either way. But if you have your old chain and it's not broken, so it's not missing any links, just hold your old chain up, hold your new chain up, measure and cut at the right spot. All you need to do is, if you're using quick links, make sure that you have the open inner links, so there should be a hole going through, and they should be the skinnier ones. Make sure you have them at both ends so that you can pop your quick link in. But aside from that, should be gravy, should end up being just the right length, because a trained mechanic will have cut your last chain. If you don't have that, go and get it done by a mechanic, because you don't want a chain that is too short or too long. Alright, so we're going to do some hot tips in the middle, and I'd like you to whack some extra hot tips in the chat if you have any, trying to, give some people some advice. I have a hot tip and a hot do not tip. So the hot tip is, if you need degreaser to clean your chain, which you should be doing on the regular, just use your dishwashing detergent if you don't have any lying around. It's a degreaser. Use it every day to degrease your dishes. So slap some dishwashing detergent on there, wash it in a bucket. Happy days. Things not to do: do not clamp anything but your seat post. The reason why is your seat post gets clamped by your seat post clamp. It's made to handle those forces. The rest of your bike is not, and you could compromise the integrity of your frame. So only clamp your seat post. Okay, so let's do the don'ts. So, number 1, tightening anything carbon fiber. Carbon fiber is only made to handle forces from certain directions. Your bike is laid up in a certain way so that your different sections are better at handling forces from different directions, and it will have a number followed by an NM. You must follow that, or you could crack your frame. So go and get that done by a mechanic, unless you feel very confident and you have a torque wrench. Number 2 is bleeding brakes. Now, bleeding brakes has gotten a lot easier, but dot fluid, if it gets on anything brake paddy or brakey, goodbye stopping. So get someone that knows what they're doing and does it regularly, because it is a steep learning curve. The outcome of a mistake is catastrophic, and yeah, it's just not really worth it for how often that you actually have to bleed your brakes. get it done by a professional. Number 3 is wheel alignment. You used to do wheel alignment all the time, but that's because you had rim brakes that would show you where your wheel was out of line. You could just true either side. You don't have that with disc brakes, and so you really need a wheel truing stand, and it's just more money than it's worth for the amount of times that your wheel is actually properly out of alignment. Go and get it done by a mechanic with your regular bike service. Number 4 is a post-crash test. If you have a crash of any sort, minor, major, get your bike checked out, because the people that are riding next to you in the next group ride are relying on the fact that your machine is in tip-top shape, and you're letting them down if it's not. You crash, get your bike checked out. Might really be worth it. And finally, number 5, take it from a guy that has tried this so many times and always ends up frustrated and angry. Tubeless tyre setup. Particularly with hookless becoming sort of more and more mainstream, and us seeing more and more failures of hookless systems because it appears they've been set up incorrectly. Go and get your tubeless done by someone that actually knows what they're doing. Yes, you could do it in your garage, and it is possible. I've done it. But it's a massive headache, and the outcome of an incorrectly set up tubeless system is really bad. If you're fanging it down a hill at 80 kilometers an hour and you have a tubeless blowout, you could die. So yeah, a bit of a Debbie Downer there, but seriously, get it done by someone that actually knows what they're doing. Okay, so that's my list. If you think I've miscategorized, let me know. If you think there's anything extra that should be on here, slap it in. If there's enough, I'll make another video out of the comments. But yeah, look, happy riding, stay safe, and if you're ever concerned or you're ever unsure, the best thing to do is go and get your bike done by a local mechanic. Keeps them in business, and honestly, it's like their job. They're good at it. Have a good day. Stay upright.